At nearly every single one of the 40 Christian women's programs I keynote every year, at least one woman asks me how to recover from a big mistake. Have you ever made such a big mess or a huge mistake that you didn't know if you'd ever recover? I will never forget where I was when the hit the fan and I was caught in my sin. I'd been widowed for several months. The casseroles and the cards had dwindled to a stop, but all the faith and adrenaline and strength that had carried me to that point ebbed away, and I was feeling old and lonely and overwhelmed. Everyone else still had their life, and I'm ashamed to say that even though I knew better, I backslid into old habits that made me feel alive again. I started flirting with a married man who'd been hired to do some work around my house. It was innocent, mind you. I had really just wanted to see if I still had what it took to capture a man's attention, to pretend for just a few minutes that my real life wasn't my new life, to remember what it was like to be married and have a man of my own. It started with some playful teasing and was escalating to outright flirtations when one of my bestest friends stopped by and witnessed this banter. To the day I die, I will remember exactly where I was standing when she confronted me. Robin, if you were in a burning building, you'd want me to drag you out, right? Of course, I said. Well, I see what's going on between you and that guy in there, and you're playing with fire. You have to put a stop to it. My face flushed with the heat of being caught. But just like that, it was over. I ran out of that burning building. My friend didn't judge me. She didn't silently observe and then gossip about me. She didn't put me on a prayer chain so that people could cover me. She loved me enough to call me out to my face on the spot to get out of that proverbial fire. You can't imagine how horrible I felt when I was caught, how ashamed or how stupid. Or can you? We all make mistakes, and I'm so glad to have a friend who loves me enough to call me out on them, and a God who loves me enough to forgive me and give me a fresh start. Just like the woman in the Bible who was caught in the sin of adultery, I had to be reminded that even though I'm marred by sin, I'm still a woman made in the image of God, that I'm forgiven, I'm redeemed, and I'm loved. It is never too late for either one of us to get a fresh start with Jesus.